What if I told you that your car payment might be the single biggest reason you'll never build wealth? And no, I'm not talking about just expensive cars or luxury vehicles. I'm talking about the trap that keeps average people stuck in an endless cycle of payments for their entire working lives. Stay with me, because what I'm about to show you will completely change how you think about car ownership. Hey everyone, and today we're diving deep into something that financial experts whisper about but most people never fully understand: the car payment trap. This isn't just another "don't buy expensive cars" lecture. This is about understanding how car payments have been normalized in our society to the point where people believe they'll always have a car payment, and why that mindset is absolutely destroying your financial future. Let's start with how this trap is set. Walk into any car dealership, and what's the first question they ask? It's not "what car do you want?" or "what's your budget?" No, it's "what monthly payment are you comfortable with?" That question right there? That's the bait. Because the moment you start thinking in terms of monthly payments instead of total cost, you've already lost. The dealership knows this. The banks know this. And they've built an entire industry around keeping you focused on that one number while they manipulate everything else: the loan term, the interest rate, the trade-in value, the add-ons. Here's what happens. You walk in thinking you can afford $400 a month. They show you a car that fits your budget at $425. Close enough, right? But here's what they're not emphasizing. That's $425 for 72 months. That's 6 years. That's $30,600 total, plus interest. For a car that's worth $25,000 today and will be worth maybe $12,000 when you finally own it. But let's go deeper into the math that makes this trap so devastating. The average American has a car payment of around $700 per month. That's for new cars, but even used car payments average over $500. And here's the kicker: the average car loan is now stretching to 68 months. That's nearly 6 years of payments. Now, let's say you're 25 years old, and you decide to always have a car payment, like so many people do. You're going to work until you're 65, right? That's 40 years. If you're paying $500 a month for 40 years, that's $240,000 in car payments over your lifetime. But wait, it gets worse. Because what if, instead of making those car payments, you invested that $500 per month in a basic index fund averaging 8% annual returns? After 40 years, you wouldn't have $240,000. You'd have over $1.7 million. Let that sink in. The difference between always having a car payment and driving paid-off cars while investing that payment is literally the difference between retiring broke and retiring a millionaire. Now let's talk about depreciation, because this is where the trap gets even more sinister. A new car loses about 20% of its value the moment you drive it off the lot. In the first year alone, it loses about 30% of its value. By year 3, it's lost 50 to 60% of its original value. So here's what's happening. You're paying interest on an asset that's rapidly declining in value. It's the worst of both worlds. You're paying tomorrow's dollars for yesterday's value. And because most people finance cars for so long now, there's a period, usually the first 2 to 3 years, where you're underwater on your loan. You owe more than the car is worth. So if you want to get out of the loan early, you can't. You're trapped. Hence the name. But the trap has another layer that's even more insidious: the trade-in treadmill. Here's how it works. 3 years into your 6-year loan, you're tired of your car. Maybe it's not as shiny, maybe you want something with better features, maybe it's having issues. So you go back to the dealership. You still owe $18,000 on your car, but it's only worth $15,000 now. The dealership says, "No problem, we'll roll that negative equity into your new loan." So now you're starting a brand new loan, but you're already $3,000 in the hole before you even pay for the new car. Fast forward 3 more years, same thing happens. Now you're rolling $5,000 of negative equity into another new loan. Before you know it, You're paying $50,000 for a car that's worth $35,000, stretched over 7 years at 7% interest. People do this their entire lives. They're never building equity, never getting ahead, always owing more than their car is worth, and always making payments. The saddest part of this trap is what you're giving up. That car payment isn't just costing you money, it's costing you freedom. It's costing you the ability to take career risks. It's costing you the option to start a business. It's costing you early retirement. It's costing you the emergency fund you desperately need. I've talked to so many people who feel stuck in jobs they hate because they have to make that car payment. They can't afford to take a pay cut for a job they'd love. They can't afford to go back to school. They can't afford to work part-time when their kids are young. But because of that $600 per month obligation that never goes away. The car payment trap isn't just financial, it's existential. It's a trap that keeps you on the hamster wheel long after you'd like to get off. So what's the solution? How do you escape this trap? First, break the cycle. If you're currently in a car loan, commit to keeping the car after it's paid off. I know it won't be shiny and new, but that paid-off car is your ticket to freedom. Second, start saving that car payment once the loan is done. If you are paying $500 a month, keep paying it, but to yourself. In just 2 years, you'll have $12,000 saved. In 4 years, $24,000. Now you can buy your next car in cash, or at least put a massive down payment on it and finance it for just a year or two. Third, change your relationship with cars. They're transportation, not identity. You don't need a new car every few years. A well-maintained car can easily last 200,000 miles or more. That's 15 to 20 years for the average driver. And finally, run the numbers yourself. Calculate what you've spent on car payments over the last decade. Then imagine if you'd invested that money instead. Use that as motivation. The car payment trap is real, and it's keeping millions of Americans from ever building real wealth. But here's the good news: you can escape it. You can be the person who drives paid-off cars and invests the difference. You can be the one who breaks the cycle. Will your car be as new as your neighbor's? Probably not. But will you have money in the bank, investments growing, and financial freedom that your neighbor doesn't? Absolutely. The choice is yours. Stay trapped in permanent car payments, or break free and build the wealth you deserve. If this opened your eyes, hit that like button and subscribe for more real talk about money that nobody else wants to give you. And drop a comment. Are you stuck in the car payment trap, or have you broken free? I want to hear your stories. See you in the next one.